Alright, second video for today, guys. And in case you're wondering, still riding high from that fantasy football win last night. So we're going to talk unit conversions. Before we get to unit conversions, though, we need to talk a little bit about scientific notation. Okay, hopefully for most, if not all of you, this information that we're going to talk about right now is going to be review. Okay, so it's okay. I'm going to go fast through this. If you need to pause it and rewind it, go for it. Not a bad thing, but hopefully this is review. So scientific notation is a way that we write really big numbers or really small numbers to make them more manageable. Okay, so instead of writing a whole bunch of zeros after a number or a decimal point 00000 and then a number, we use scientific notation to make it more manageable. Okay. We use powers of 10 to shorten the writing of the number. Okay, so times 10 to the 4th or times 10 to the 17th or whatever to make that number easier to handle. Okay. If the number of the exponent, so let's just say I've got 1.5 times 10 to the some sort of number up here. Okay, if this number is positive, we're going to move the decimal to the right. Okay, I'll make this a little bit. So that's a positive sign. Decimal gets moved to the right. If this is a negative exponent, this decimal gets moved to the left. Okay. That's my next bullet point. So if the exponent is negative, the bullet point gets moved to the left. And when the decimal gets moved to the right, that number becomes bigger. Okay, so I'm filling in each one of these spaces here with what would be a 0. Okay, so let's say that this is 1.5 times 10 to the 4th. So this decimal would go 1, 2, 3, 4 spots this way. And then I would fill in a 0, 0, 0 there. So then the number would be 1, 5, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so it would be 15,000. Now, if this was 1.5 times 10 to the negative 4th, then my decimal would be moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spots this way. And I would fill in zeros here. And so then the number would be 0.00015. Okay, so this positive or negative sign right up here is very important because it makes it either a really big number or a really small number. Okay, one of the two. So that positive negative sign is very important. And then, of course, you move the decimal the amount of times shown by the exponent. So 4 up here, you move it 4 to the right or 4 to the left. I want you guys to practice writing out these as whole numbers, okay? Obviously, hopefully, this is easy for you to do, okay? And I think, okay, yep, there's 4 examples. Pause it, write them down now. Here's your answers. Hopefully you moved your decimals in the right direction and the right number of places. Okay, if you didn't and you're wondering why, go ask me a question. Pause your video and go ask me the question. Okay? Here's some rules for scientific notation. When you write a number in scientific notation, there always has to be 1 digit in front of the decimal. That's a rule. That's how it has to be. If it's not written that way, it's not written in scientific notation. It may still be a legit number, but it's not written in scientific notation. Okay? So 2.5 times 10 to the 3rd is okay, but 0.25 times 10 to the 3rd is not. And neither is 25.0 times 10 to the 3rd. And right here, there's no number in front of the decimal. Here we have 2 numbers in front of the decimal, and it has to be 1. Okay, so that is why those are not correct. And the value of the exponent is the number of times that the decimal gets moved. So in each of these cases, it would be 3. A large number is going to have a positive exponent. A small number is going to have a negative exponent. We just talked about that on the previous slide. Or if you move it to the right, the number becomes bigger. If you move it to the left, the number becomes smaller. Okay, here's some more practice. I want you to take these big numbers or small numbers and put them into scientific notation. All right, pause the video, write those down, translate them to scientific notation, go. Here's your answers. Okay. Again, if you have a question, if you didn't do it right, come ask me. Go ask me a question. All right, this is the most important slide in this video of notes today. Okay. As you move forward throughout this year and throughout the rest of probably your scientific education, you will be conducting calculations that involve scientific notation. And it's very important that you guys know how to type these into your calculator. Okay? I'm going to show you here in a second what it looks like on a regular TI-84 calculator like you guys have. I understand that not everybody has this type of calculator. If you don't and you can't find the buttons that I'm describing and asking you to push, show me your calculator on Zoom and I will walk you through it. I'll find those buttons for you. Okay? So, hopefully everybody has a TI, or most everybody has a TI-84, so that you can understand what I'm talking about and what I'm saying here. Okay? So, we're always going to be doing calculations with scientific notation. In order to do those, you've got to use this EE button. Okay, so everybody go find your calculator right now. Pause your video, go find your calculator. When you come back, look for this EE button. On the TI-84s, it's usually the second key on the comma button. Okay, so find your comma button, look for the little button above it, that's for the second function, and that little EE right there. This EE takes the place of times 10 to the whatever. Okay, so the way that you type this or use this into the calculator is, let's just do this first one here. And we're just going to focus on this number right now. We're not going to do the full expression yet, okay? So if I were to ask you to type in, and I want you to do this for me in your calculator, 7.85 times 10 to the fourth. What I want you to do, 7.85, just like normal. Then you're going to go second. Then you're going to find the EE button. And then you're going to type in 4. And if you hit equals after that, what should pop up is 785, 00. Because now I've taken this decimal and I've moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 spots this way. 7.85 times 10 to the fourth moves that decimal spot 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that way. Okay? Use this EE button. It's big time. Okay? Now, I'm going to go show you real quick. I'm going to get out of this. No, discard those. And I'm going to show you this. Okay? So, let's do the second one because that's the one I can see down here. Okay? So, we've got 2.65 times 10 to the, so I'm going to go second EE, and that's what it should look like in your calculator. It only pops up with one E, but that's okay. Okay, second EE, and then -3. So I'm going to go -3. And right there, that tells me this is 2.65 times 10 to the -3rd. Okay, so that's what that number is. And then I'm dividing. Okay, oops, that's subtracting. Delete. And divide. Okay, divided by 3.85. 0.897 times 10 to the, so there's my EE button, times 10 to the negative sixth. Okay, and if I did this correctly, when I hit equals, it should give me 680.010263. But I want this number, I want this 680 point whatever, I want this to be in scientific notation. So I'm going to change it to 6.8 times 10 to the second. What that does down here is it takes this decimal and it moves it 2 spots to the right. And I'm going to put a 0 in there. That's 680. Hey, look at that. 680. Okay. I want you to try this number 3. Pause the video. Try this number 3 on your own and make sure that you get this answer down here. 4.22 times 10 to the 6th milliliters. All right. Pause the video. Type that into your calculator. If you don't get this, I want you to come show me on Zoom. Okay? This is the end of the video. Go do those two that number 3 problem. All right? Peace.